Miss Elsa's class and Miss Gomez's class. Today is Thursday, April 16th, 2020. Today you're going to need your packet, your Wit and Wisdom packet. You will need your journal paper and something to write with. Okay, also don't forget to respond and like to our morning meeting questions for attendance. Okay, our voice level for today will be table talk, since I will be asking you a couple questions, but we don't need to really be talking so loud. So yes, our voice level will be 2. So let's get started. What lesson are we doing today, boys and girls? Get ready. Yes, lesson 25. Let's go ahead and get started. So our big essential question, like we have gone over this module, is why do people admire Cinderella? That's a big question that we need to answer at the end of the module. Now, our content framing question is what we need to know by the end of today. So let's go ahead and echo read that. It says, what is a deeper exploration of the illustrations reveal in the Korean Cinderella? Yes. What is a deeper exploration of the illustrations reveal in the Korean Cinderella? Now, what do sensory words describe? First of all, what are 5 senses? Who remembers? See, smell, taste, hear, and touch. Yes. So what do the sensory words describe? Sensory words describe how people experience things through their 5 senses, right? We just went over them, how they see things, how they smell them, how they taste, how they hear, what it sounds like, and how it feels. Good job, boys and girls. Now, the author of the Korean Cinderella used sensory words so that readers could better imagine this scene. Today, we'll take a closer look at how the author describes the pear tree. So that's the pear tree. Okay? Now I want you to stand for a minute and listen to the next quote from page 4. Act as if you were the tree. It says, in summer, when the tree bent with ripening fruit. What is a tree described as being bent? So what is a tree described as being bent? The tree is bent because the limbs are heavy with fruit, so it's bending over, okay? You can go ahead and take a seat. Now close your eyes and imagine the next scene. Everybody close your eyes. Some of you still have it open. Close them. Okay, listen to this. In the autumn, when leaves from the tree blew about the courtyard like scraps of sunshine. Listen again. I want you to think, what do you think the leaves look like? In the autumn, when leaves from the tree blew about the courtyard like scraps of sunshine. What do you think the leaves look like? What are you imagining right now? Scraps means small. The leaves were small leaves. And sunshine is bright, so the leaves were bright yellow. Now, we just examined the sensory words that the author used to help imagine the scene. Next, we're going to take a look at how the illustrator depicted or drew the scenes described in the story. Now, what else besides the words on a page can help you understand the story? There's 2 things. Remember, we look at the words and the illustrations. Good job, boys and girls. Now remember, today we're doing a deeper exploration about the illustrations, okay, about the drawings. Now the illustrator did a lot of research on Korean culture of 300 years ago to gather information to create the illustrations. So the illustrator had to do research. He had to go look at the Korean culture, see what things were like there, in order for him to draw the pictures for you in the book. Now we're going to see some videos. So let's look at this. It says Royal Hanbok. So that's what they wear. That's what they look like. Okay, now let's look at this one. That's the culture, their heritage. So that is one of the hats that the men wear. So it seems like he's cutting up some wood. I love the way how you guys are looking at the videos. Okay, so this is a traditional Korean wedding when they get married. See, he's wearing one of the hats that the other video showed us how they made them. That's where they're getting married, and then they have some ribbon dancers. They dance with ribbons. Okay, now this is their finger.
Korean traditional embroidery shows the ultimate art of handicraft.
So that's how they do their art. They sew the pictures.
This traditional legacy is gaining momentum once again with slick 21st century allure. Let's discover the beauty of Korean traditional embroidery. This gallery is on Gangado Island, Incheon.
Okay, you can always come back to this slide and you can go ahead and watch the full video so you can learn a little bit more about the Korean culture. This was just a little bit, a piece of every little bit of it, but you can always come back and watch those videos. Okay, now the illustrator researched how to create detailed illustrations to highlight the setting of the story. The illustrations below include some of the items that he drew in the book. So a hanbok, the dress, patterns. So we saw a lot of different patterns in the book. Horsehair hats. So we saw how that was made right now, the black one. The white ribbon, we saw the dancers dancing with the white ribbon. And then there's wedding ducks. Okay, so in Korean, in their culture, they do use wedding ducks. Okay, so he had to do all that research in order to paint the pictures as close as possible to the Korean culture. Now look at this page. It's page 3-4 in the book, but look at the illustration. What do you notice about the illustration on these pages? And we're talking more about the pear blossom. What do you notice about them? This is when he talked about all the seasons. So if you look at the pear blossoms here, then here, Then look at the leaves falling. What do you notice? Yes, that in each of the 4 seasons, the pear tree and pear blossoms, they change. Now look at this other picture, page 37 through 40. What do you notice about the illustration on these pages? What do you notice about the pear blossom? The pear blossoms, these right here. What do you notice about them? There are more pear trees and they're blooming again on pear blossom's wedding day, right? So they're blooming, they're out, they're a lot more. Good job, boys and girls. Now, how do the illustrations of the pear tree at the beginning of the book compare to the illustrations of the pear tree at the end of the story? So at the beginning, we saw what? That in every season, the pear tree and the pear blossoms changed. And at the end of the story, what did we see? That they were blooming, right? There were so many. Yes, so when the pear tree is blooming at the beginning, Pear Blossom has both her parents and she's very happy. Then when the pear tree dies, Pear Blossom loses her mother. In the end, when the pear tree blooms again, Pear Blossom gets married and is happy again. So we notice that the pear blossoms are blooming in happy times in Pear Blossom's life. Now let's take a look at our vocabulary from the Korean Cinderella. Everybody say these words. Frog, cabbage, what word? Rice, what word? Sparrow, what word? Barely sugar, what word? Black ox, what word? Turnips, what word? Honey candy, what word? Yes, so we have frog, cabbage, rice, sparrow, barley sugar, black ox, turnips, and honey candy. At this time, you guys do need your worksheet. It looks like this. It should say at the bottom, Module 4, Lesson 25. And it has the exact same words that we just went over. Okay? So you can go ahead and pause the video while you go ahead and get this page and then press play again when you are ready. Now, if we were to sort these words into 2 categories, what would they be? So what 2 categories are there? What would they be? Yes, food and animals. And that's exactly what we're going to do. So on your page, we're going to sort them out. Your page looks like this. The first thing that you need to do before we start, you can always press pause, is write your first name, last name, and the date. Sorry. Okay? And then we're going to sort them out in the animal category or the food category. Let's start with frog. Is frog an animal or a food? Get ready. Animal. So go ahead and write frog in the animal side and you can cross it out because we already used it. Remember, at any time when we are writing anything in our Wit and Wisdom, you can pause the video until you finish writing, and then you can come back to the video so we can go on to the next thing. Okay? Next word, cabbage. Is cabbage an animal or a food? Get ready. Food. Let's go ahead and write it in the food side. Cabbage. And let's go ahead and cross it out in the bottom. The next word is rice. Is rice animal or food? Get ready. Food. Go ahead and write food. Rice, I'm sorry. Whoop, I made a mistake. Go ahead and write rice on the food section and cross it out in the bottom. The next word is sparrow. What word? Is sparrow an animal or a food? Animal, yes. So I'm going to scratch it off and I'm going to write it in my animal side. Now we have barley sugar. Is barley sugar an animal or food? Yes, barley. Sugar, it's food. Cross it out, and then we write it. Whoops. There we go. On the food side. Next, we have black ox. Is a black ox an animal or food? Yes, animal. Cross it out. Write it on our animals side. Then we have turnips. Are turnips animals or food? Food. Yes. So cross it out and write turnips. Last one, honey candy. Is honey candy an animal or food? Honey candy is food. Yes, good job. So cross it out and write it on the food side. Good job, boys and girls. Now, if you pressed pause, whenever you are ready, you can go ahead and press play and we can go on to the video. Now we're gonna go ahead and check our work. So let's see if you are right. On the food side, on the animal side, we have frogs. On the food side, we have cabbage. On the food side, we have turnips, honey candy, barley. We have the barley. We have barley sugar. We forgot to put sugar there, but it's barley sugar. We have it on our paper. We have a black ox. Rice is a food, and sparrows are animals. So yes, you guys got 100. Kids are green. You guys are so smart. All right, guys, now we've come to our exit ticket, and our exit ticket has to do with our content framing question. Did we answer the question? What is the deeper exploration of the illustrations revealed in the Korean Cinderella? Yes, we did, and I want to hear from you. So your exit ticket, it's going to be to write in your journal. You're going to write the answer to the question below, and then you're going to upload it onto your assignments tab. So you're going to get your journal. You're going to write your name, last name, and date. And then you're going to answer the question, what did you learn by examining the illustrations in the Korean Cinderella? So what did you learn by looking at the pictures in the Korean Cinderella? You write your answer and you upload on the assignments tab under Wit and Wisdom, my class, for a grade. Okay? Awesome job today, guys. See you until next time.